lion's mane has a lot of benefits, but the more interesting one is how it repairs the myelin sheath. And that is huge for the brain, and how it repairs from some of these clinical trials. They're amazing what they're able to see with the lion's mane, and how it helps against certain forms of dementia, certain trauma to the brain. It's a great preventative. There is some really beautiful things associated with the farmer's market. I get folks coming in saying, I take your lion's mane. It helps me with my ADHD so I can focus more on my task. Multiple people have told me that about our product.
Yeah.
Some folks even say, I don't get the jitters that I get from other lion's mane products.
Welcome to the Forward Think Tank podcast, a place of hope, inspiration, and education around holistic health and healing. I'm your host, Jamie Mazza, a holistic health coach, mental health advocate, and dancer. Join me as I share out-of-the-box conversations with integrative doctors, healers, and exceptional forward-thinking individuals thriving on the other side of their health challenges, as well as stories from my own personal healing journey. Thank you for tuning in. I'm so happy you're here. Hello, everyone. On this week's episode of the Forward Think Tank, I sit down with one of my friends, truly incredibly giving soul, Baris Sonmez, the owner of LIfeCap Farms, a mushroom farm here in Jersey City. This man is as sweet as they come. He has a heart of gold. He would give the shirt off his back, and that truly has poured into his business, the mushroom farm that he started here in Jersey City. I have got some behind the scenes insights into what goes on at the farm, how the mushrooms grow. He has such pure intentions and the highest quality standards possible in terms of how he grows the mushrooms. Everything is organic. He goes into detail in this episode, also talking about the tools and equipment used to produce the mushrooms, which he also has the highest integrity and standards over. And so it's encouraging and refreshing to see somebody, especially a small business owner, who cares so much about the integrity of his product. And I feel truly blessed to be surrounded by a network of incredible small business owners here in Jersey City who are of similar mind. He does pop-ups quite frequently at the farmers markets here in Jersey City. He also talks about the importance of supporting your local farmers. And this conversation, yes, we do talk about specific mushroom types and the benefits of them. Before we started recording, Baris was like, listen, disclaimer, I am not a doctor, but I can speak high level to some of the health benefits. I said, no problem. That is exactly what I want to do. He is not a doctor, neither am I, right? We are here speaking from experience and what we can offer people. There's so much information out there about mushrooms. A lot of people have watched Fantastic Fungi. There's an awareness now more than ever about mushrooms and how they can help certain types of health ailments. We talk about the top 5 mushrooms that he grows at the farm and so much more. This conversation also touched on the importance of community and connection, which is not something I was anticipating. As Baris shares the mission of LIfeCap and what he wants to do with it. It's a for-profit business, but he had this mission in his heart to do something that gives back to community and those who need it, and create a sense of connection with your food, a sense of connection with one another. I know that every small business owner out there, you're getting pulled in a million directions. So Baris, I just want to thank you, if you're watching this playback, from the bottom of my heart, for spending some time with me and getting to share the story of how LIfeCap came to be. Now, just to give you a little bit more about Baris's background, he had a 12-year corporate career that has allowed him to apply his business experience to his passion for building food systems and helping community. He founded LIfeCap Farms after taking some time to study food systems and finding his passion for fungi. LIfeCap Farms was founded in 2018, opening a 6,000 square foot space in Jersey City with a goal to connect the community through food. Besides growing mushrooms, the farm has events linking music, art, poetry, and food prepared by local chefs. Engaging community is also central to their mission and is exemplified through their organic community rooftop garden, where they grow vegetables and fruits, which upcycles their mushrooms waste through compost while being able to donate the produce to Hudson County, a nonprofit, and hunger-free UIC. It was just such a breath of fresh air to have this conversation with Baris, to get to understand a little bit more about his mission. I use his tinctures all the time. I'm sitting here looking at my desk because I usually have one handy. I have fallen in love with how they make me feel, and I see an added benefit while going through this journey that I've been on for the last year and a half. But truthfully, I used his tinctures well beyond that. You can find out more about LIfeCap Farms by visiting their website, www.lifecapfarms.com. You can also find them on Instagram at LifeCapFarmsNJ. That's LIFECAPFARMSNJ. Thank you so much, Baris. I hope it inspires some of you to go out there and try some mushrooms and get to know your local farmers. Enjoy this episode. And please welcome Baris Sonmez to the Forward Think Tank. Hello, friends. Welcome back to the Forward Think Tank. This week, I have a guest who is just a beautiful soul, a special friend, Baris Sonmez, the owner of LIfeCap Farms, an incredible mushroom farm here in Jersey City. Baris, thank you so much for your time today. It is such an honor to sit with you and have this conversation.
Thank you so much, Jamie. It's a pleasure to be here, and we love you so much. And
the feeling is mutual.
Come on.
I feel like we have to introduce your friend.
We do. I have a little girl here, which if she's not on me, she's yelling the whole time. So you're going to be hearing a lot of chirps in the background.
We love it. We love our animal friends.
This is Izzy. She's a little
Hi, Izzy.
Baby cockatiel. And she's going to be the micro influencer for us.
Definitely a unique spin on all of my podcast interviews today. I love it. Yeah, I feel like I say this to Nick all the time. I'm like, Baris is just your personality is like a warm hug to me. So when we first met, I was like, I feel like I've known you for years. And when we did first meet, it was actually, I think originally maybe downtown at Busy Bee, but then we got to talk a little bit more at Kelly's art show and really learn about what you were doing with LIfeCap. And I'd love for anybody who's not familiar to hear it from you. What inspired you to start this business? What exactly is LIfeCap Farms and the mission of the company? Because it's a really incredible thing that you've built here.
Thank you so much. And I do remember those initial moments when we first met, and you're good peoples, and I appreciate the warm hug feeling. There's a lot of that happens through Busy Bee, a lot of individuals that we love over there. And so you're one of them. So thank you.
Thank you.
And how did I jump into this? I had all my experience in corporate and going back, and I met a lot of amazing people, amazing mentors, coworkers. I had a great time in terms of learning and growing with organizations that had a lot of processes and had a global reach. Mm-hmm. So for me, that was great. But I also felt like that I wanted to see a large part of the world. I want to see the world, first of all. I decided to quit after 6 years. I was at Johnson & Johnson. I was in finance, and I decided to leave. Everything's going great. Love the people, but it's tough to take a sabbatical for a year. So I wanted to travel the world, prepared all the tickets, traveled through Europe and Africa and the Middle East. And I came across a lot of places because I'm a musician as well. So I was producing music in different countries, and I was recording folkloric music and wanted to combine all of it to create an electronic album, right?
Very cool. I didn't know that.
I wanted to have a mission, bringing people together through music. And every place I would go to, I would see pockets of community, people that would know each other. Mm-hmm. It's a huge world out there, but it's really small at the same time. And I fell in love with that. I had to cut my trip short 6 months into it. My dad got sick. I had to come back and cancel all my tickets. Got to Turkey. I was going to go to India and Nepal and do the Annapurna trek, see the Himalayas, go off into Asia and to South America afterward. Came back, took care of my family, ran out of money, and I'm basically vegan. So for me, I didn't want to buy organic veggies from Whole Foods at that price. I was like, okay, I'm home. I don't have a lot of money. I don't have a job really. So what do? I started gardening. And that gardening aspect of it really ignited an old flame that I had. I always had this love for biology, but I never went into it. I got a finance degree instead of biology. I should have listened to myself. I was actually teaching kids biology while taking the classes that needed help with certain things.
So it's little glimpses of ourself, right? That it's like, I used to love that, or I'm connected to that. It all comes full circle in the end.
So real quick, got into that, got a job in corporate again. I needed to pay the bills, and then still was researching, digging deep into science and understanding what our soil was and reading books, Rachel Carson, Silent Spring, understanding pesticides and how they kind of work in the food systems.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean in terms of the food that we eat? And I fell in love with creating things, right? I like to create things. I like to create music. Since I wasn't creating music anymore, what else can I create? So you can create life, you can create food, something that helps continue life, so to speak. And so I did that, and every vacation that I had during those next X amount of years, 6 years in corporate, every vacation was associated with learning. So I'd go to boot camp courses, figure out what is vertical farming. I went to the University of Arizona for a week and a half to understand intros to different kinds of businesses, growing mushrooms, growing greens, growing strawberries.
Yeah.
And then finally, mushrooms took a hold.
What was it about mushrooms?
There was a guy called Paul Stamets. He's one of the leading mycologists in America, and he had a TED talk about 9 ways a fungi can save the world. And when I saw that, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So
Something clicked.
Jumped in, and that's what kind of led me into this, just from like the food perspective, from the bioremediation perspective, from the medicinal perspective. There's a lot of things that they do. So that led me to them, and it's a fascinating science, and it's complex as hell, and I love a challenge. So there's a community associated with it, right?
Yeah. So why Jersey City when you decided to establish the farm here?
Yeah. Before Jersey City, I was looking at a lot of different places. Moved to Jersey City because I loved what the community was like. You know, it had music, it had the arts, it had restaurants, it had a lot of different ways of connecting. When I was traveling around the world, I saw these places. I was like, I want to live in a place like that. Jersey City was the closest thing that was in New Jersey to me that brought back those nostalgic feelings of traveling again. And so I came back here and I was like, let me look in Jersey City. And I found a place and was like, that's it. And that's how it happened.
I had the privilege of touring the farm not too long ago. I remember when you were in kind of like the infant stages of building it all out. And I'm somebody who I can't understand what things are like until I actually physically see it, especially if it's something I haven't priorly known to exist. So to see it kind of transform in some of the pictures that I saw from you and maybe, you know, from Kelly, it was just like, wow, like what? It blew my mind because I'm like, Jersey City? Like, where is he doing this thing? It was awesome. So why don't you tell me a little bit more about your mission specifically for LIfeCap? And for people who don't know, you know, you have an incredible CSA program. So if you want to speak to that a little bit, now you've got a bit of a lineup of tinctures, which is fantastic. I've personally been using them, you know, well over the last year and a half, but more intently over the last year and a half. So if you want to speak to any of that, I think people would find it very interesting.
Yeah. Thank you for bringing up the topic about mission. And that's a really, really big deal for me because I created a business with the intention from the beginning that we do good. And what I mean by good is giving back to the community without expecting anything back. That was a challenge that I wanted to take on as a for-profit business. Not everything has to be about the money, right? Like, how can we create something here that can pay for itself, but at the same time support the community that you are established in and not have to, whoa, look at us, look at me. It's not about that. It's like, do the damn work and then walk away and just keep doing it. And I can't take full credit for that because there's always been that drive in me to do that. I've always partnered in nonprofits. Even when I was working in corporate, I would take on leadership roles. One of them was Green Acre Community Garden in Patterson, which still is around. Deacon Davis is the head farmer and the owner of this nonprofit. They give out free food every 2 weeks to people in Patterson. I helped them with that for about 6 years. And so I take a lot of those learnings and inspiration from him and apply it here. So just giving respect to Deacon Davis from Green Acre. And what we do is we grow mushrooms organically, organic raw materials, which is another topic. And we grow our mushrooms and you have a waste product afterwards. So what do you do with the waste product? It's all organic. You can still use it. We put that in our garden beds on a rooftop, and we grow in collaboration with Rutgers 4-H program. And that's Claudia and Roxana. We grow vegetables and fruits on our rooftop, and that all goes to Hunger Free UIC, which is another nonprofit in Hudson County that provides free food to the community every Saturday. So we donated about 300 pounds of vegetables and fruits last year. We're looking to hopefully double that this year. It's a small drop in the bucket, but at the same time, we're intentional about what the mission is, right?
Yes.
It's not just about being a mushroom farm. It's about being that little spark in the community that adds positivity somehow, some way, and just doing our little part so that it has an impact that I'm not expecting anything out of. Just do the work and move on.
That's beautiful. And I think it really just speaks to how I introduced you in the beginning. You have a big heart, and your personality is just a nice, warm hug. I think the fact that you can look at this business, and I see only a small glimpse when we talk and when I see you in action of all the hard work that goes behind a small business. I've had the opportunity to work in a couple of small businesses myself and also have the contrast of working in corporate. And it's like night and day. You know, you're in it, you're in the trenches. So there is a lot of humility when you're in that situation. But the fact that you are not necessarily just looking to say, like, hey, look at us, we're doing something cool, we're doing something different, which, you know, you are. There's nobody here doing that at all. It's a unique business model in itself. But then the fact that you say, okay, how can we give back? It's not about us. It's about just helping make the world go round. That is a really beautiful concept. Thank you for laying that out.
Please, thank you. We're allowed to do it, so we do it.
Yeah. I know very little about the world of mushrooms. Most people that I talk to, they'll say, oh, I watch the Fantastic Fungi. People are starting to become more aware of how mushrooms can be used as, a healing tool and how they can affect different systems in the body. Before we get into that, can you tell me what types of mushrooms you grow at the farm and what's different about your mushrooms and the way that you grow?
We grow seasonally in a way, right? We're indoors, but not everything is. I'm not going to grow winter mushrooms in summertime, right? I work with mushrooms that like to grow in the season that it is, so that I put less strain on our utilities, the AC, the heating. So we work with the mushrooms. So if we look at the whole year, we grow around 15 to 16 different types of mushrooms.
Oh, wow.
They range.
More than I thought.
Yeah. I mean, there's little strain differences here and there. We'll grow reishi, turkey tail, many different types of oysters, blue ones, gold ones, pink ones, the phoenix oysters, the king oysters. We'll also grow different types of mushrooms that are more of the chestnuts, the piopinos. Lion's mane is a big one that a lot of folks ask for. They're a beautiful mushroom. And there's all the other in-betweens. Shiitakes, of course, one of my personal favorites. There's a number of them that we grow, and we grow them in different time frames. So winter mushrooms in the wintertime, spring and summer mushrooms in the spring and summer. All the raw materials are organic. We're not organic certified yet. It's more of a paper exercise. And I
was going to say, I've heard it's hard to do.
Yeah, and we've, for the past 3 to 4 years, we've been working on a back-end technology to make sure everything is connected so that once we're ready, it's ready to go and we can get approvals. I've been talking to a number of bodies that would approve organic certification. I'm already in the process. I've taken the webinars. I've done all the work. In the back end, it's just a matter of making it happen now. So testing is a big deal for us. When you talk about health and benefits and mushrooms now, mushrooms have a tenacity to pull heavy metals very easily from the raw materials that you grow them on. So if I'm a mushroom farmer and I don't care about the raw materials, I'm like, oh yeah, it's hardwood mixed with this and that, I'll pop it in and it's fine. But when you test different sources of raw materials, sometimes you can get back things in there that you don't want in there. And mushrooms have an ability to absorb that. You can get your arsenic, your mercury, your lead. There's things in there that you don't want to eat.
Are you still walking around in those leggings full of microplastics? I know. Seems like nothing is safe anymore, right? It's ridiculous. I recently started changing over my clothing to more sustainably sourced, no harm to me brands, and I have been obsessed lately with Woolly. It's made of 100% merino wool. Honestly, you have to try. Merino wool, it's naturally finer than your average wool, so don't think about like your grandma's wool, right? It's made of smaller, breathable fibers that actually regulate your body temperature. So I wore their leggings in the dead of winter when I was trying to get out every single day, even if it was 15 degrees post-op. I had not an ounce of body fat on me, so I was always freezing, and I was shocked at how it kept me warm and insulated on my walks. So obsessed. But it also wicks away moisture from the skin and is quick to dry. So really perfect for, now that it's getting nice out, we're going outside, we might be sweating a little bit. It's all good. It will regulate your body temperature. It's truly amazing. So I've been obsessed with their leggings. I also have short and long sleeve tops from them, which again are just so fine and soft to the touch. I was honestly shocked, and they're comfortable. They're cute. I mean, they have everything from like underwear to athletic wear. I can't wait to try more, but I had to tell you about this because I know honestly for a lot of people who are hyper conscious, I should say, about wellness are looking at the trending topic of microplastics in our Lululemon leggings. So if you're looking for high quality athleisure gear that won't add to your plastic burden, I highly recommend you try Woolly. They have everything, like I said, from athleisure to underwear, and you can get 15% off your first order using code JAMIEM15. That's JAMIEM as in Mazda 15 at checkout. So head on over to Woolly, WOOLLY.clothing and check them out. Enjoy.
Right? We do testing on our raw materials.
Beautiful.
I've tested a number of different raw materials, and they're all nice and all these great things, but I care about what I eat. I care about what I feed my wife and my family. I consume my own product. You better believe that whatever I'm providing the CSA members that we have, the restaurants, the supermarkets, the farmers markets, individuals are eating the quality of food that I want to eat, and the level of quality that I want to eat as high as it possibly can, right? I'm intent on making sure that our mushrooms are clean, right? In terms of the raw material cleanliness, not just the mushrooms are organic. Let's take a step back. Are the raw materials good?
Yeah. Not knowing a ton about mushrooms and how they necessarily grow, aside from having the experience I did when I went on a tour with you, my mind was just like constantly blown. And I feel like Nick's mind, because he's a little bit more, he can engineer anything. He's not an engineer, but he knows how things work. Like his brain just works that way. He's like, oh yeah, this makes sense. This makes sense. I'm like, what? This looks cool. Our brains are completely different. I would never have thought about the raw materials, but you hear things, right? I think social media can make me and probably a lot of people listening, it's like everything is bad. The Lululemon leggings I've been wearing for 20 years are bad. They're full of microplastics. Even organic vegetables have small amounts of like whatever BS. Your tap water, everything is bad. So it makes you, even as somebody who's a health conscious person, walk around like I can't eat anything. And I would never have thought about the raw materials. And my brain just went ding, hearing heavy metal toxicity. It's, and I'm sure some people maybe do approach you when you're out in the farmer's market and ask, or there is like a little bit of a stigma about like, I don't want to eat mushrooms because of that. But it's like, you can't live your life just like worried about everything when you are somebody like you who has the mind of like, I'm going to create a product and it's going to be something that I would eat. And I do eat, and I have the best intention of doing everything I can to make it as high quality and intentional as possible. That storyline gives such peace of mind to everybody who consumes your product.
Jamie, like everything you said, I think. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
And I need to give my nervous system a break too. We do the best we can is what I come up with.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
If you know, and if you can do something about it, then do something about it. I saw a gap. I saw people that needed to get organic, free vegetables because they can't afford that stuff, right? Food deserts, they're real. I'm a product of Patterson, born and raised in Patterson. I saw it. And when you're walking around thinking those things, does anyone care?
Yeah.
It's like, does anyone know? And so if you know, then you should care. I saw some things. I want to do something about it. Trying my best to do something about it, and that makes me feel better. Everything you said, I wholeheartedly agree with. We're doing what we were set out to do, which is provide something that we're doing the homework in the back end. We're doing the third-party testing to get the best product out to folks that are local food to local folks, and just do good stuff.
Yeah. I love it. And listen, you are probably like 10 rungs on the ladder above the rest of the people who are doing this and putting a product out there just to put a product out there. It's so easy to like slap a label on something and say it's like got the best intention. I think you're living proof in just everything that you've shared so far that you really do care, and you're putting all those parameters out there to make it the highest quality product that you can. And that's amazing.
Thank you. Yeah. Come on.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Otherwise, I would have just been in corporate.
Exactly.
Doing my thing, and
Yep.
nothing against that. I enjoyed my time there very much. But
But I think there are certain people who have bigger missions on their heart. And I think when we're called to do those things, some people, even to me, are like, I can't believe you started a podcast after all this. It's like, well, I don't know. So many damn people are asking me about what's going on. And should I do this? Should I eat this? Should I take this? I'm not a doctor. I can only share from my personal experience, right? But I have met so many cool people along the way, have developed so many friendships in this awesome community in Jersey City. You know, I look back and I cry all the time because I'm just like, oh my God, I'm so grateful for people like you. Because you were like, okay, like you need some tinctures, like let's make it happen. You want lion's mane? I got you. You know, I had Anand at Own Life, like whenever you need to use what I have here, he got the whole EES system in there. Michelle, who's been cooking for me ever, you know, she would cook for me every day if she could. I was like, I think I'm okay because I need time to be creative in the kitchen. It's like something I could do for myself. But after surgery, she's like, all right, step in it. Erin Kumpf, like her acupuncture is just like miraculous. So the amount of people in this awesome city, I'm so blessed to know. And then I've brought my doctors on because it's like, well, hear it from them. Don't hear it from me. You know, I can speak to my personal experience, but I felt that on my heart, similar to how I think you felt this mission, you know, and I think it's wonderful when you can not just have the idea, but take the action.
You know, you just brought up a number of things that are really important to me too. And it's community, individuals that actually care, individuals that you can connect with. You could say hi to and bye to. I don't know if the whole blue zones thing is, I've been seeing some things debunking it. I've been seeing some things promoting it, but I'm not going to deny that community is a part of healing.
Absolutely. You hear loneliness is like new smoking, or like that alone can cause depression.
Absolutely. I love people. I love connecting with people at farmers market. That's the highlight of my mushroom experience, which is connecting with folks. We had some folks come by, which I felt so grateful for, to the farmers market. We did a review last year. We had a winter hiatus. We came back in May, and people, more than 5 individuals, which I don't expect anyone to do this, right? But more than 5 folks came by. But they came by and they're like, we are so happy to see you again. Not just me. My wife, she's usually there. Connor's there now. They're like, we missed you guys. And it was just like, wow. I didn't know people missed their mushroom farmer, right?
Yeah.
I didn't think that was a thing. I didn't think people thought of us that way. That community aspect also brings a sense of joy into what you do. So that joy, in my opinion, keeps you going.
Absolutely.
And it definitely fills you with joy.
Yeah, for sure. I love that. It's always nice to see an echoed sentiment of your work, and it's also making a difference in people's lives. Of course, people love you. We all love you. And the mushrooms are beautiful. I mean, the tinctures for me, this is awesome. I can just like drop it in a drink, put it under my tongue. I truly was taking the Reishi tincture every night to help me sleep soundly and was getting such deep rest.
Beautiful.
That chart that you showed me, I'll make sure that I include that on here too, because it was so helpful to see. I know you said, let's talk high level about this, fully recognizing you're not a doctor. And sometimes you do bring doctors into the events to speak to the health benefits. I think people would really love to hear the health benefits of some of the mushrooms that you grow. And maybe we talk the most common. So lion's mane, reishi, wherever else you think we should touch on, turkey tail.
Yeah. I am not a doctor. I don't claim to be one. I tell that to people. I'm a farmer before I am anything else. I research as much as I can. I have some books that I do read to get some inspiration from.
Okay.
This one's a great one that builds on a classic, which is The Fungal Pharmacy. Really, really comprehensive look at, you know, human clinical trials associated with some of the mushrooms that we grow at our farm. You mentioned lion's mane. Lion's mane has a lot of benefits, but the more interesting one is how it repairs the myelin sheath. And that is huge for the brain, and how it repairs from some of these clinical trials. Amazing what they're able to see with the lion's mane, and how it helps against certain forms of dementia, certain trauma to the brain. It's a great preventative. I think there's some really beautiful things associated with the farmer's market. I get folks coming in saying, I take your lion's mane. It helps me with my ADHD so I can focus more on my task. Multiple people have told me that about our product.
Yeah.
Some folks even say, I don't get the jitters that I get from other lion's mane products. Am I touting that we have the best product? No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying those are some of the benefits that I hear from folks that come to me directly and tell me that. And I haven't paid them to tell me that, right?
Yeah.
They're telling me, whether it's placebo effect or not, they are experiencing something that is helping them get through their day as easy as possible with the workload that they have at hand. Number one, the jitters, I don't know if that could be associated with grain, brown rice within the mushroom supplement that gets tincturized. And we don't use any of that. We use straight fruit body. Are there some benefits to mycelium, which is grown on brown rice? Yeah, there are some benefits to mycelium. It's not like, oh my God, you can't have any of that. There's no benefits associated with it. There are some benefits with mycelium versus the actual fruit body, which is the mushroom. So the mycelium is the roots to the mushroom, so to speak. That's the easiest way of putting it. We only use the fruiting body, the actual lion's mane that we harvest from the mushroom block. We use that in our tinctures, and we do a double extraction. That's lion's mane. For reishi is another mushroom that we only use fruiting bodies, first of all. We don't use any brown rice for anything. I may look at using just the mycelium without the brown rice. But the reishi itself is great for the sleep, relaxation. You can take it in the morning too, which I do sometimes. And it modulates with you. It's considered the mushroom of immortality for that reason. It has a lot of benefits associated with it. When you share the table, you'll see it on there. In comparison to the other mushrooms.
It checked almost all the boxes.
Almost all the boxes. Cordyceps are huge, which fills out that one box that isn't filled out for the reishi. And the reishi comes with some constraints and stipulations in terms of if you just had surgery, make sure you get that crossed out with your doctor in terms of if you should be taking it because of blood thinner interactions. Yeah. If you have low blood pressure, that's something to just be wary of. I have some folks that buy from us that are on our CSA that have low blood pressure, but they take a little bit and they enjoy it for their night's sleep.
Yeah, I did stop it, unfortunately, for that reason, because unfortunately, I'm still dealing with some nerve pain. So maybe I should start doing some lion's mane, but I am taking gabapentin at night to help with the nerve pain while I'm also getting those nerve treatments. And it causes this like orthostatic hypotension. When I stand up from laying down, sometimes I'm like a little disoriented. So I'm like, I probably shouldn't mix this with reishi. So I stopped for now, but I can't wait to start it back up again and get off of that.
Yeah, and it's okay to stop. I even tell folks you can give a pause from taking reishi so that you reduce that immunity to it, right? It's not all about just constantly selling it. Take a break, come back to it. I've seen some reports in there saying take 6 weeks of breaks, 3 weeks of breaks.
Okay.
You know, that's reishi. Reishi is just an amazing mushroom. It's huge in terms of its benefits. But if you have low blood pressure, just take it with ease and just watch out for the dosing. Maybe you take 0.5 milliliter. No, it's up to you. I've had some experiences with someone that had low blood pressure. When I was working in corporate, I bought a tincture from another brand and I was putting it into my coffee or my tea in the morning. And I was like, hey, would you like some reishi tincture for your tea? And she's like, yeah, I'll take it. Drop a milliliter. And I didn't see her for the whole day. And I said, where'd she go? And the next day I saw her, she's like, Baris, I had to leave. I could not feel like I was grounded because I have low blood pressure and it really dropped it for me. And then I'm like, oh my God, I didn't know that. So
of course, how would you?
So that's my firsthand experience with that.
Yeah.
Turkey tail, finally, our third tincture that we currently have, more antiviral, preventative. We had provided Busy Bee with quite a bit of these tinctures and it sold out real quick during the winter months to, hold out against flu and anything that was going to prevent you from getting a cold or getting sick. She's awesome too. There's a lot of things that reishi does as well. So if you're looking for benefits associated with preventative against getting cold. Reishi is great as well. The turkey tail does a great job doing that antiviral activities from what I've read. And
I know on your label it says it's great for digestion too. Can you speak to that at all? Because I didn't know that.
I think the reishi and turkey tail would do both of those anyway.
Okay.
But it's really about promoting that fauna and flora within your gut. So if you've got these beneficial fungi doing their work within your gut, it's helping with diversifying what's happening in your gut. So that helps with a lot of other
absolutely
modes of function within your one thing that I've been seeing is adding vitamin C, whether it's orange juice or whatever you like with your tinctures, helps with absorption of those. That is something that I do recommend from what I've read, what I've seen.
Okay.
I do the same too.
Yeah. Those are the 3 tinctures that you have right now, correct? Is there any other mushroom? I know you said you love shiitake, so are there any other mushrooms you think that are common enough for people that are worth speaking to the health benefits of?
We're going to be coming out with cordyceps and shiitake tinctures soon.
Okay, cool.
Cordyceps, great for stamina, great for energy. There's a lot of benefits, and they speak about the sexual potentiator associated with cordyceps. People are a little afraid of it because of Last of Us. They're like, oh my God, am I going to become infected and become a zombie or whatever? That does happen in nature with certain ants, and it doesn't affect humans that way, obviously. But they're a really powerful mushroom. Shiitakes are another powerful mushroom. Those are things we'll be coming out with, but we have to also go back to eating them.
Yes.
Always cook your mushrooms. If you don't cook them, you can't break through the chitin wall. And the chitin is that material that is something that we can't digest as humans. You have to cook through it so you break that chitin wall for the benefits to flow through. A lot of people that marinate, it's okay. That's great. You want to get the flavor of the mushroom. You want to get a culinary experience from it. That's great. But what it really comes down to is if you're consuming something, you want the benefits to nourish your body. So
definitely
always cook them. And that's another way of introducing those benefits into your body.
I know you've shared a couple stories throughout this conversation, but are there any success stories? And I say success stories, so like maybe people who have either been dealing with some health issues or anything that's top of mind to share after consuming your mushrooms?
Main success stories are the incremental one. I don't have anything for the podcast listeners, viewers, with something to break through. I don't have that. What I do have are those small stories that maybe in a year or 2 years, they look back and go, I couldn't concentrate as well because and it's a little difficult focusing on certain things, and this helps a little bit. And that little bit every day could be a bigger thing over time. And that little bit of success of brick by brick building, that I would say is a success.
Definitely.
I do get a lot of individuals that are going through something health-wise, health concerns that come to me. And many times they're like, do you have this tincture? Do you have that tincture? So maybe there's a success associated with looking to natural medicine and the food that we eat and seeing that as another avenue in conjunction with medical advice and different surgeries and what have, right? Just having those combinations of therapies is success as well. Maybe I'll see it now that you brought it up and something will pop up and I'll send you a message and say, hey, this actually just happened. It's huge.
Yeah.
But I'm in it for the long game, bit by bit. I'm just happy. I'm very filled with gratitude that individuals do come to me with that. And they can trust me that I'm doing the best I can to make sure that's clean and that we have all intention thinking about our end customers, thinking about the community, caring, really caring. That she echoes with that a success to me as well.
Yeah, definitely. You provide a lot of peace of mind knowing how much you care about the quality of your product, and just having had the opportunity to befriend you and ask you some of these questions and, say, okay, I have a friend who's going through this, or I'm going through you do create a safe space for people to share with you. And then I see you go and you research and you come back if you don't know the answer and you're like, okay, like here's what's up. It goes a long way. It really does. I've met some of your team over the course of the last few years. You hire great people. I mean, I would never imagine that you wouldn't, but there's definitely special humans that come and get involved with LIfeCap, and it's beautiful to see.
Thank you.
Yeah. I want to make sure, I don't know the answer to this question. Do you ship outside of the state if people were to? No.
Not now.
Okay.
I've had some folks from the Netherlands and France ask me that.
Yeah.
We ship across the US for sure,
Okay.
but
Okay.
for international, I haven't looked into that yet, just because
Yeah.
we're still trying to cover our tracks.
Oh yeah. But you do ship within the US
For
if
sure.
people were to go directly to your site. Okay, so I'll make sure I plug that as well.
Thank you.
I've gifted tinctures to a few people, and listen, I like to support my people who I believe in, and I'm happy to do it. I've seen how it's helped me. It's funny when I asked you if you had success stories, because I think there are often people who come asking the questions and they're probably doing a lot of other things in tandem. So it might be hard for them to say, yes, I know specifically this helped me. I'm one of those people that's doing all the things, but I remember, talking to my dad about your business when it first came up, and I actually gave him some lion's mane. He got to eat some lion's mane when he was here when I had the CSA, and he's been hard of hearing my entire life, and his issue is the cilia, the fine little hairs in his ear. Most people think, oh, he can just get like a cochlear implant. It's like not that. It's the little tiny hairs that are damaged. So he was like, oh, let me try this. And so he did it for a while, and I asked him how it was going, and he's always paying attention, and he was kind of like, I don't know, I think maybe I can start to hear things that I wasn't. Oh, who knows? My dad is a funny guy, but I don't think it hurt, and who knows, that could be something, if he kept it up, that could make a difference. It's awesome to see and witness in the people that I'm gifting this to. I can only imagine the impact it's making when you have your whole audience in front of you coming and sharing stories down the road of how things have improved.
Well, I'm happy to hear that about your dad, and who knows, right? Maybe It doesn't matter, as long as he's getting the benefits and he's getting the positive results, even if it's incremental somehow, but it doesn't hurt to take it, right? To consume mushrooms in general, right? They're amazing and so powerful, whether it's from me, whether it's from someone else. Always just make sure you know your farmer and that you're asking them where their raw materials come from.
Yes.
And really ask them about why are you doing this? And that why really drives the medicine. It really drives the product. And that why is a very important question that I don't think enough people ask, because we want the product, and if it looks nice and shiny, we'll take it. But the why is a very important question about understanding what it's for. And so,
very good point.
I'm happy to hear about your dad.
One last question. You're on the Forward Think Tank. I ask everybody this last question to wrap. What keeps you moving forward in life?
Yeah, that is a question that I keep in mind all the time, because you alluded to this before, where you played within corporate and small business. You get humbled real quick about what it means and takes to run a small business.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yep. It's not easy.
Not easy at all. It's a far cry from being in silos in corporate, doing your one little thing. You're focused on X. That person's on Y. Small business, you are X and Y. X, Y, Z, the whole alphabet. And because of that, I have to think about the WHY, the why. What keeps me going through the tough times of managing is the why. And the why for me is food, which brings us together. What is in the food? Is it clean? Is it nourishing? Does it have positive intention in it? Are we giving love to it? Really? Do we care about our product? Or are we just like, shit?
Yeah. Get it out. Ship it.
Get it out. Ship it. Done. Money. Boom, 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 boom. No. For example, I'll come to the farm and mushrooms get heavy on one end and they drop to the floor if they get too heavy overnight, because we didn't place it right on the rack. As they're growing overnight, they get too heavy and it topples over, falls to the ground. Number one, when I come in the morning and I see that, I'm like, we lost a mushroom that was supposed to go to someone. Number one, we lost product. For sure. And then when I'm taking the product and throwing it into the trash, I say, I'm sorry we lost you. You know what I mean? Like, it's not about just we lost this product that we put so much effort and love into. I'm also caring that this was something that we grew from nothing, right?
Yeah.
It came from something. There was a spore, of course, raw materials were there, but we care for it. So my why is associated with it keeps me going. Slowly, we're building a community around us that cares about the food that we eat, about how we're connected. I love people so much. I love that I'm able to connect with people that I normally would not have been able to connect with through the corporate route. If I didn't have this farm, I wouldn't have met you. If I didn't have this farm, I wouldn't have met a lot of great individuals. That's right.
Chiming in at all the right times.
Yeah. Powerful moments. That's my why, is the connections, doing what I believe is good, and powering through those difficult moments of why'd the mushroom fall to the floor to how do we grow in an efficient manner.
Thank you for that. Listen, I love bringing my people on this podcast because it allows me to get to, one, spend some time with you. And I know your time is precious and you have to go. And two, get to know my people on a little bit of a deeper level. And I was like, okay, we're going to talk about mushrooms. We're going to talk about the farm. But this conversation, mushrooms aside, I feel like has such an emphasis on connection and humanity and giving back. And it's a conversation I haven't had on this platform before. So it is important. It is how we connect with each other and we heal each other. So thank you for bringing that element to the podcast.
It wasn't me. It was her. She's the one that did it.
Yeah, right. Look
at this.
Hey, girl.
Puffball mushroom is actually a real thing. She's not actually a mushroom. She's a cockatiel bird.
Yeah.
I appreciate you so much for having us on.
Yeah, happy to do it.
I'm not alone in this. LIfeCap and the community at large are helping us grow. And if I may, I wanted to put out something right now that
Please.
More than ever, I think it's really important to connect with your farmers. Farmers markets, not us. I mean, farmers putting in hard labor, hard work, and it's the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. And there's a lot of issues going around the funding right now from governmental organizations to provide funding through grants. I know that's what I said, Izzy. If people are able to go and support your local farmers, trusting where the source is coming from and the raw materials and all that stuff, if you trust it, support them. It's a really, really big deal right now. We're not as affected. If you know restaurants or farmers or CSAs, if you want to join, we're looking for that support too, for sure. We are. But your farmers, local farmers need your help, the small businesses, because of all that.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that. Farmers market season is my favorite time of year. I always encourage people because you're getting things locally and you are supporting small business. I was actually just saying to Nick very recently, he laughed because he's like, I couldn't see it. I'm like, I would love to spend some time on the farm and just learn how things are grown because I do not have a green thumb at all. I wish that I did. So I'll have to take some tips from you someday, but it is important. And we were looking at organic strawberries that I got from Whole Foods. They were like monstrous. He's like, there's no way these are actually organic. I'm like, you know what? When we go to the farmer's market this weekend, you're going to see the difference. It's an experience when you get to talk to the farmer and see how they grew things and see where things are coming from. And then you get to know that person. And then you want to, hopefully, there's a lot of good humans like us where you want to support small, but it also creates that sense of community and connection and direct connection to your food. It's not traveling far. The reasons are endless. Thank you for bringing that up because it is farmers market season here in the Northeast. And I guarantee you, anyone listening to this, wherever you are in the US or beyond, there's a farmer's market near you that will appreciate your support.
Absolutely. And your food tastes better because you feel more.
Absolutely.
And then two, I disagree with you about you having a green thumb.
Please.
You have a green thumb. I promise you do. I feel like everyone does.
It's somewhere under my brown thumb, so help me find it.
Nope, you got it. Trust me. You 100% got it.
Yeah, thank you.
I believe in that, and anytime you want to get your hands into the soil, you let me know. Trust me. I'm not gonna.
This is so good. Thank you for your extra time. Amazing. Baris, thank you. I know I appreciate your time because I know you probably have lot of
I love this.
Places to be.
You have such a beautiful podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. You are awesome, amazing.
Thank you.
And I really believe in what you're doing, and you're combining a lot of this for all the hard work that you're doing yourself, and you're paving the road for other individuals that are looking for other outlets of listening to someone else's journey that they're probably going through themselves, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of insights for people that are looking to help and be a part of your journey and others. Thank you for all the work that you do.
Thanks.
Thank you. A beautiful podcast that you've had us on. And Izzy, she's really happy to be a part of it too. So thank you.
Yes, thank you, Izzy. I will be sure to link your website and access to the product shop, the CSA, whatever else you want me to include.
Sure.
Just let me know.
Beautiful.
Did you enjoy this episode? If so, I would appreciate you taking a moment to please leave a 5-star review. Every review helps visibility with this episode to reach more people. And I am on a mission to help people learn alternate resources to support themselves in their healing journey on their road to health. So please take a moment to leave a review, leave a comment. I read every single one and I respond back. And of course, the most helpful thing you can do is to share this episode. If you found it helpful, if you found it entertaining, please share it on social media, send it to a friend, a loved one, someone you think could find this helpful. It means the absolute world to me. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening, and I will see you soon.